really interesting how all this is playing out as soon as Trump got elected, right? I mean,
Yeah.
chaos and uncertainty and volatility. Those are the buzzwords now. And that's what gold loves the most, right? Chaos and uncertainty.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to and watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. David Erfle, Junior Miner Junkie, is with us. And wow, this market, David, first it looked like gold was going to go parabolic. And
we did.
That didn't happen. And then
Goodness.
and then,
We don't want to see a blow off top just yet, do we?
Yeah, $100 in one day, right? 80 something today. I mean, we're here on mid-May, May 14th, and but silver's holding pretty steady.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we had an isolated high at 3,500 back in April. And we've now had two consecutive reversal candles on the monthly here. Well, of course, the month isn't over here in May, but as far as the gold price is concerned, it continues to make these strong moves higher, and then when it corrects, it has a short, sharp move lower, and then it starts consolidating. Well, this time, the gold price got extremely overbought on the monthly. So it's due for a healthier pullback, right? I mean, when the gold price from a bottom of 1,600 about 18 months ago, right, the gold price has more than doubled, and the pullback so far had been pretty mild, anywhere from a little over 6% to over 12%. And so now I wouldn't be surprised to see a corrective pullback in the 15% range. That would be a healthy correction, and it would take the gold price back down to 27 to 29.75, 3,000, where there's really good support. And it's also 18-week moving average support. That's pretty much where the gold price has gone down and corrected to several times during this move over the past 18 months. I mean, that 13-year cup and handle breakout was very powerful. And the first target was reached at 3,000, and the logmatic target is 4,000. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a correction here, maybe into June. But anything could happen geopolitically that could take the gold price back up again. Economically, there's all these catalysts lurking out there that could take the gold price higher before it does correct down to that 15%. So, anything goes here. But as far as the silver price is concerned that you mentioned, yeah, that's very bullish that the silver price is holding up better here, because we had that gold silver ratio pop to 107, right? I mean, whenever we have that gold silver ratio of 100, which is extremely rare, the last time it happened was during COVID. It popped to 124. It's screaming that silver is super cheap here, and it's basically due to catch up, because this is what happens, right? Gold makes huge moves, silver lags, and then silver catches up. So, what happened on Monday when we had the trade deal over the weekend, and everybody waxed euphoric, and the Dow went up 1,000 points. The gold price went down over $100, and the silver price was hit pretty hard too. But silver hammered sharply, and it was basically unchanged on the day. It wasn't down that much, and while the gold price ended down $90, and that took the gold silver ratio below 100. So that's the bullish element here, because we're starting to see silver catch up, even though the gold price is correcting here.
Yeah, and it's kind of following a predictable pattern. And we were talking pre-call about how silver assets are now getting snapped up
Yeah, I mean, we had another takeover this week. Pan American Silver, the world's fourth largest silver miner. They've agreed to take over MagSilver, and this followed Majestic Silver taking out Gatos, Coeur taking out Silvercrest, and then more recently, Endeavor purchased Peruvian silver miner Minera Culpa. So, see, these miners, they see the writing on the wall. They know they have to replace their assets here before the silver price takes off, and these assets that they want to acquire get more expensive. Because I mean, these miners are making gobs of cash here. Yeah. I mean, the Pan American, they were able to add a cash sweetener to their offer, right? I mean, they just ended their quarter with a fantastic earnings for Q1, and they had almost a $1 billion in cash, and they're spending half of that cash as a cash sweetener to take over Mag. The rest of it is in shares, and they're still getting a good deal on it, even though they're paying a premium, because the offer is 25% below Mag's all-time high back in 2021.
Hey, we've how many years have we been listening to Mag's story for? I can't remember the head geo's name.
Yeah, Peter McGaugh.
Right, like we've been listening to him for I think 12 years for me. Richest silver mine in the world, the whole story.
Yep.
And here we are. Finally, one day somebody woke up and realized they had to have them.
Yeah. Juanicipio is a primary silver asset, which is very rare. And even though they're taking over Mag, they're only buying 44% of that mine because it's controlled by Fresnillo, who's the operator, and they own 56% of it. But still, it's a cash cow. I mean, the mine generated free cash flow of over $77 million in Q1, and that's almost triple the year ago level. So, Pan American's making a very wise move here.
Yeah, definitely. And the only mistake they made was not doing it a lot sooner.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Mag was trading at $8 a year ago. So,
yeah, I mean, I owned it 12, 13 years ago, made a couple bucks, sold it. But I guess I needed to be in it for the long haul and just didn't know, David.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with these stocks. I mean, especially with these. Well, they were a junior back there, and Mag's no longer a junior with a $2 billion market cap.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? So, where are we heading here? How long is the correction going to last for?
Oh, my crystal ball's broken here, Kerry.
Yeah, that's what.
Like I said, I don't see it going any lower than that 29,53,000 level because, a lot has to go right with the world here. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on with the debt, I mean, that's not going away. It's just getting worse. I mean, the corporate debt wall has over $1 trillion in bonds set to roll over this year. I mean, the corporate debt service has basically doubled since the Fed started tightening in 2022. So, yeah, I mean, and on the flip side of that, China, who used to be the world's largest buyer of our debt, now they're the world's largest seller of our debt, and they're using the sales of our treasuries to buy gold. And Japan used to be a big buyer, and now they're the second biggest seller because of their economic problems over there. So, this debt situation isn't going away anytime soon, and the gold price sees this, and it also hears Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell basically saying, "Hey, we're in a stagflationary situation here that could mushroom because we've got growth slowing below 2% in Q1, while the CPI inflation that was reported this week is still at 2.8%. So and the third domino of stagflation is weakening jobs data, which is a lagging indicator. Sure, the jobs are holding up for now, but I mean, all these layoffs that have been announced recently, and also you've got consumer credit. I mean, consumer confidence continues to decline. They see the writing on the wall. You know, when consumers sense there's a recession coming and all this uncertainty, you know, when you hear Fed Chair Powell in his press conferences say the word uncertainty more and more times during each press conference, that makes consumers uncertain. And when they're uncertain, they don't spend money, they save it. And if they save money, then the economy doesn't grow because our economy is based on 72% consumption. Mm-hmm. So the gold price is sniffing out all this. You know, all these catalysts haven't gone away. What this is this is just a healthy correction and consolidation of these huge gains recently. I mean, the gold price went up as much in one quarter as it did all last year. So those gains need to be consolidated, and that's what's happening here.
Interesting. So, so we're talking just a matter of months, 6 months. Is that how long it's going to take?
Who knows? I mean, I have no idea. What I'm concerned mostly about is basically what's going on with the juniors, and it's not concerning anymore, right? It had been concerning over the past few years as they continued to lag not only the gold price but the miners. Well, that has flipped in a big way. If you take a look at the GDX and the GDXJ, they went up about 55% from their lows at the beginning of the year, and they're consolidating now. They've corrected about 15%, and if they come down to test their breakouts, their 4-year breakouts, that would be another 5% correction. But if you take a look at the TSX Venture, right, it continued to climb as when both GDX and GDXJ peaked in mid-April. The TSX Venture continued to climb. Mm-hmm. So what that is telling you is these resource sector professionals who've been in this sector got in early, the smart money that got in early, they're taking some of their massive gains in the miners and the royalty plays, and they're rotating them into these juniors. So that's what I want to see, and that's what you're seeing, because these juniors are so ridiculously inexpensive, and now that these miners are making all this money and M&A is picking up again, because basically, you know, their shareholders are saying, "Hey, you've shored up your balance sheet, great. You're paying us good dividends, great. You're doing share buybacks, great. Now we want growth. You need to use some of that cash and replace those ounces that you're digging up out of the ground, and you need to do it on Bay Street as opposed to trying to find them yourself, because it takes too long." So sure. That's what I'm very excited about. I've there's several companies that in my portfolio, in the junior miner junkie portfolio, that I share with my subscribers. So my subscribers and I have been doing very, very well this year, and a lot of these companies they form these beautiful multi-year consolidation patterns. Some of them at all-time highs, and some of them at all-time lows. So the ones that are forming these consolidation patterns, these multi-year consolidation patterns at all-time lows, they're the higher risk optionality plays with all this gold in the ground, right? Some of them have made these beautiful accumulative bases that they're breaking out of, and the ones that were bifurcating earlier, they're making higher bases, right, after moving up so well with the gold price. So, you know, it's very exciting right now to be a junior gold stock investor.
So will Canada rise again?
Will Canada rise? Well, yeah, you know, I mean, it's interesting if you take a look at the debt situation of the U.S., right, and its economic situation. You got, so currently the U.S. credit is rated at AA+ by Moody's, Fitch and S&P.
Sure.
As you know, the weakness in U.S. credit rating is basically reflected by rising credit default swap spreads. Right. But Canada's credit rating remains at AAA. But as far as mining is concerned, and the big bugaboo for mining in North America, in the U.S. and Canada especially, has been permitting timelines.
Yes,
and now that Trump is in office, permitting timelines are being lowered. They're basically they've targeted this as something that needs to happen because they need these critical minerals out of the ground, and Trump is big on this, right? And it's switched over into Canada as well. I mean, in BC, they're fast tracking 18 projects. In other provinces, they're talking about streamlining their timeline. So that is huge.
And I think we'll leave it at that. Canada is rising, but it might not rise united. It could be splintered off, and who knows? Maybe we'll get a 51st, 52nd, maybe even a 53rd state. And
Alberta might become a 51st state. Yeah,
and they can keep the rest. And Saskatchewan, 52. And I don't know how you do the territories, but not my problem. We'll stop at 52. The flag is getting a little too crowded anyway, so we can't really handle too many more stars, but maybe they become commonwealths or territorial possessions. I don't know, but it seems like the Albertans are ready to take the plunge, aren't they?
Yeah, it sure looks like it. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how all this is playing out as soon as Trump got elected, right? I mean, chaos and uncertainty and volatility. Those are the buzzwords now, and that's what gold loves the most, right? Chaos and uncertainty.
Agreed. All right, David Hanks, junior miner, junkie, link in the show notes. Got a question for David, myself. Email kl@kerrylutz.com. While you're at the site, we just ask that you sign up for our free newsletter. Take a look at the Martin Armstrong book. You can order it on the site. David, we'll talk to you again soon. Be well.
Thanks, Kerry. You too. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.